So right now, the way we build and use software is changing very fast. It's no longer just humans clicking buttons. AI agents are becoming the main actors now. All right, they are creating pull requests, syncing Notion to a hotspot, and then even managing workflows, right? Or just by calling tools directly. And that's where MCP, which most people also know as the Model Context Protocol, comes in, right? It's the new standard language that a lot of AI agents securely talk to your API and services with, right? But if you are building an MCP server, there is one big challenge, right? Which obviously is authentication. All right. So today we are going to show, or I'm going to show you how to make this possible and very easy and very fast using what Scalekit. All right. So let me quickly go here into the documentation. You can see there's this really cool documentation here explaining how it all works and all that stuff. All right, so what I quickly want to do here is we could really go through, you could go through when you want to implement, right? But let me just show you a quick demo of how it would look like once you are done doing it. So you want to quickly just first of all, just make sure you have VS Code Insiders installed, downloaded and installed. Yeah, VS Code Insiders. You can come to your so you can come and say VS Code Insiders, just like that. Download. All right, and then you can download and install it onto your PC. That is going to be your MCP client, right? Because we have MCP server, MCP client. We are going to create an MCP server with Scalekit, and then we are going to have to communicate with our MCP server with our MCP client, which is what our VS Code Insiders, right? So make sure you have that, and once you have that installed, pretty much, let me just quickly demonstrate how it works. Let me do my Control I or Control Shift I, so we can bring this. Now, as you can see, okay, let me just create a new chat, right? Let me see, can you please greet John? Right now, look at what happens. It says it tries to make us confirm. We just choose continue, and we have to allow, and then in allowing, it will ask us if we want to log in, you see. And then once the login is successful, it will quickly redirect us back, and then you can see that it is here, hi John. All right, so this is what we are going to be able to do. We are going to create this MCP server and then help it to communicate with our MCP clients, which is our VS Code Insiders. Right now, when you go, let's go back into the documentation real quick. All right, so inside the docs, you've read, you understand what is going on. Just come and click on next steps right here, and then it says download a sample MCP server from here, right, from GitHub. Once you click on it, it will open up this Scalekit MCP demo, and then this is actually going to make it very simple and pretty straightforward when you have to set up your MCP server yourself, right? So you can quickly just clone your repo, and once you're done cloning your repo, you can just come click on this code button here and then click on download zip. Right now, once you download the zip, let me quickly open up my downloads real quick. So this is the downloads. Right now, once you download it, it will look something like this. You come here and then you open up this greeting MCP. You make sure you copy all these ones and then you paste it into your new project, right? So in this case, the new project that I created here, then I created this server folder and then I pasted it right here. Then when I was done, I run the yarn add I ran the yarn install to install all the packages that are inside the packet.json. That is why we have the node modules right here. And when I was done, I did my yarn run build for it to convert and then compile it into this folder, and then I run what the yarn run start, and then it was able to start this for us. All right, so pretty much, how do we set this up? Right, let us go into the documentation, you just do all these things and what I mentioned. Now once you are done, let's go back into the documentation. Now if you come inside this demo, it walks us through very specific steps, very fast and specific steps on how to set it up. All right, so you can see it says we're getting started. Make sure you go and to your app.scalekit, and then you make sure you enable your full stack authentication for your workspace, all that stuff. Yeah, and when you are done, you want to come here and then you want to copy your environment URL and then the client ID and client secret from the settings. So you are quickly going to do all that stuff. Then when you are done, then you come here and then you come and configure your environment variables right here. All right, so pretty much let's go here. Let's go into our app, the Scalekit. So okay, we can just click on start for free and then it should just open it up for us. There's no need for us to go and stress. And so yeah, so when we were in the documentation, they told us to come here. So here, let us go back here. So inside, we want to go into the settings right here. So we have the settings right here, and we have to copy the client ID, the environment URL, and all that stuff. Right now, if you go into your project right here and you copy and paste it into the server folder that you have, you most likely wouldn't be having the .env right here. So you just come and then you create it, right? You just create the .env inside the server folder. Right now, inside you want to come and then paste these values, right? So for the environment URL, the client's ID, and then the client secret to right there. Right now, once you're done doing all these three things, for the MCP server ID and then these ones will get there, but we need to follow the documentation one by one. All right, so here let's go down. Then after we add the variables that we need, what we need to do is we can add as we can set up permissions. So let us go and create one permission, right? So we can do that by going to the authorization, and we can go to what's the permissions right here, and then we can add a permission by clicking on add permission. Then here you use the user add right there, the one we have here. Use the user read that we have here, apologies, and the description to use, you can just use this one just like that. And then once you're done, you click on add permission, and then that should add that permission for you right here. All right, so once you are done with it, let us go to the next thing. It says what, register your MCP server, right? So we can come here and then just register MCP server. When you come, you can already see that I have one MCP server here. You can just click on add MCP server, and then you can enter your server name and then the resource identifier, which is the port. Like, I mean, if you're running it locally, it's going to be what localhost. For instance, I am running it on 8082, right? So you make sure it's 8082, and then don't forget to add this trailing slash at the end. It is very, very important. That's even been listed inside the documentation. You make sure that this is enabled. If you are hosting your resource identifier, online, like if you are hosting that server online, you can just enter that particular server URL inside here, right? But since we are running it on a local host, we can just do it just like this. All right, so this is the allow client registration that we have right here, and you can see that we also have our permissions right here. You can enable them, and also you can keep this one right here, and then you can just select create right there, right? So let me go back into my MCP server so that you see how I have configured mine. So you can see that we have my Scalekit MCP company, and I have what localhost 3002 right here, right? And when we scroll down real quick, you can see that we have this. I just enabled this one, and I enabled this one, and then you can see that this one also has been selected, and I can just save in case I made any change. All right, so the next thing is we need to copy this, right? Let us copy. I mean, according to the documentation, we are supposed to copy. Yeah, so you can see this the MCP server ID, which is the one at the top right here. So you can just copy this right there. And also we need to also enable the dynamic client registration, which I had already mentioned, and we are supposed to get the protected resource metadata. If you create your MCP server, it's going to be shown to you, but if you can't find it, you can just click on this and then it will bring it up and you can just copy and paste. So let us go back to the code editor, and then inside the MCP server ID here, you can see I just pasted it right there. And then for the protected resource metadata, we are going to copy. Let us come here. I'm going to copy this whole thing right here, this whole JSON right here, and we are simply going to, so let me do this. All right, so I can just paste that just like that. All right, so we can just keep things the way. Okay, it's still the same thing, so there's no need for me to reset it back. All right, so pretty much once you paste it just like that, you are good to go. And yeah, in case you want to you don't want to type it all out, let us go back here. You can see that you can just copy and paste some of these things inside, right? All right, cool. So now that we have all these things all set up, right, what we want to do is we run our yarn add like I had talked about, or npm install, and then you can run this, right, or yarn run build just like I had mentioned. All right, so yeah, once you are done, you can now start your server, which is what npm run start or yarn run starts, depending on what you're using. All right, so once you are done running your server, so let me go back here. I can end it right there, and then I can run, so yarn run start just like that, and that should quickly start the server for us real quick. All right, so once we are done doing it, we need to now focus on our VS Code inside that, which is with our MCP which is our MCP client, right? So pretty much how do we add our MCP server into our MCP client? I'm going to do Control Shift and P, or Command Shift and P, and I'm going to click on add server, and I'll click on what HTTP right here, and then inside I would enter the local host or the hosted MCP server, but ours is localhost, so we can just type this one inside, right, which is here. So I can just copy that and then put it inside here just like that. All right, then make sure you don't forget your trailing slash at the back, and then hit enter, and then it will ask you for the name according to the documentation right here, or the project that we are doing in the documentation. If we go back, it has what the name greeting right here. All right, so let us enter the name greeting just like that. It should be right here, greeting just like that. All right, and then you can hit enter, but I already have created that, and so I can just come here. It will create for you an mcp.json right there. All right, so you would have something like this already set up for you, and that is exactly what the documentation has. Oh, sorry, that is exactly what the documentation has right here, right? So you can see it is right here, right? And once you are done setting it up just like that, you want to start it. Right now there are a couple of ways to start it. Over here you can see that we already have this. I can stop the server and I can start it right here. Okay, and then I can stop it here, and then I can come to the extensions, come to the installed MCP servers right there, and I'll click on this, and then I'll click on what start server just like that, and it's pretty much the same thing All right, now you may be asked to log in and all that stuff. Don't worry, just make sure your current Scalekit browser where you have logged in is already active. It will just open up right here, and you can log in and then get back into your VS Code and then continue. Right, so once you're done starting your server, you can just come inside here, right here, and then you can say what you can type a prompt like, can you please, so let me quickly start a new chat right here. Can you please greet John? Right there, and you can see, you will see a bunch of logs in here. So you can see it says working, and you can just click on what continue, just like that, and then you can see invoked greet user to for name John, just like that, and then you can see hi John right here. Yeah, so pretty much that is how simple and fast it is to implement your MCP using Scalekit right here. All right, so yeah, pretty much inside the description I am going to leave the links to access Scalekit, so you can just get started with your MCPs yourself using Scalekit's drop-in or 2.1 authorization. So yeah, pretty much, yeah, thank you very much for getting to this part of the video, and then hopefully I'll see you in the next one.